Welcome back to the program. We are still on New Dawn here on Local State Television, and now we're on another segment, and we're going to be focusing right now on education. Right now, we would be looking at scaling up orientation on the home school feeding program for primary education across the country. Looking at especially primary school students in the country, looking at the federal government home school feeding program for primary school individuals. And with us this morning is Mr. SOLA BABALOLA, is the director, NOA, Ogun State, that's National Orientation Agency, and is the director here in Ogun State. Welcome to the program, sir.
Oh, thank you. Good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Okay, let me start with these statistics because Nigeria's Ministry of Education says the number of out-of-school children stands at 10.1 million, an increase of more than 3 million from last year. And now we're talking about scaling up orientation of school enrollment, primary school enrollments vis-a-vis school feeding program. Let's review the school feeding program. How effective has that been?
Thank you. The National Home School Feeding Program, I'm sure you are all aware, is a program of the federal government carried out by the state governments, but of course it is sponsored by the federal government. And the basic intention, the primary intention, is to increase, enhance, and make it more effective for pupils to be enrolled, to increase the enrollment of pupils in primary schools and schools in general. So this home feeding program is targeted, for now exists in schools, basically primary pupils in primaries 1 to 3, and of course presently as at March last year, it exists in 34 schools. Over 53,000 schools, the claim is that over 53,000 schools are beneficiaries, and of course over 9 million pupils from these schools across 34 states, including the FCT. Bayelsa and Kwara will start theirs in September this year. So that is the setting of the home school feeding program that has been going on. And of course, as at March last year, there was no consensus as regards the existing data, as regards the claims, to actually know, are we really achieving the purpose of the exercise. Definitely the purpose of the home school feeding program is that the President Muhammadu Buhari administration is concerned about the dropout of children and even those that are not out of school. And of course, the major attempt is to step up the figure and of course free our streets from children that are supposed to be in school. So, but there was no consensus as regards this data as at March 2020. And of course, early this month or so, the National Assembly too cried out that we really want to know how we are really faring in terms of this program and the enrollment of schools. So to enhance this, to make it more effective, the National Orientation Agency has been brought in by the Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster Management. We want to go into schools to enumerate the pupils, to actually both the parents, to speak to the beneficiaries. We are going to have forms we want to distribute to them to capture the data of the pupils, the beneficiaries, the advantages of the scheme, and even the problems being faced by vendors. Because this program, if well implemented, if it catches the objectives of the founding father, definitely it will step up the attendance in schools. So the Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster Management has brought NOA into partnership on this program to create more awareness, to verify the data, the claims, as a way of looking at areas where we can scale up.
Okay.
And of course improve on the exercise using our COMOs. COMOs are the Community Orientation and Mobilization Officers, including our White Brigade officers, even officers at our state headquarters will be involved to go and carry out this enumeration for the purpose of getting appropriate data to scale up this exercise.
So when would that start?
It has started.
It has started already?
From June 21. Though they have not, it's in stages. It's in stages. Like this stage is awareness creation. So that before we go into these schools, both the beneficiaries, the government partners, everybody will know this exercise is going on. And the next stage is that our COMOs, of course, they are being trained. There's an ongoing training for them. And of course, by next week, I want to believe they move to schools to carry out this enumeration. This enumeration involves data capturing of course, biometrics capturing of both the pupils, the beneficiaries, including the vendors. And we even want to create awareness in the communities, because parents too must have been getting feedback from their pupils. We want to know to what extent, if there are complaints, we want to get these complaints. It's not as a way of indicting anybody, as a way of improving on what we have done so far in this area.
Okay. We do know that trying to do that right now, which is a very good initiative. How are you looking at most especially security? Because in areas where there might be some security challenges, would that affect data capturing if for a reason there might be some issues of security in some areas? Are you looking at alternatives, or are you providing a lot more securities for your?
Luckily for us, Ogun State is peaceful. There are, across the nation, there are security issues in our schools or whatever. Luckily for us, even the state government has stepped up security in our schools. So this is a veritable ground for us to come in. In addition, we are using our White Brigade volunteers, and we are carrying along the security agencies to let them know our intention and where they can come in to back us up. I think that is ongoing.
Well, Mr. Babalola, COVID-19 did take some students out of school, and also looking at the recent attacks of schools, especially up north. So the question has always been, will these students ever return to schools?
That is what I'm saying. COVID-19, kidnapping, abduction of students in the north. We cannot say because of these exercises that are going on in our schools, sit back and of course just submit our faith to these social vices that are threatening the future potentials, the future goals and objectives of our students. So definitely, like I told you, all stakeholders are working hand in hand, collaborating as a matter of urgency, looking, including the governments. I'm sure you are aware of the activities of the state governments, of the national governments in stepping down this. So what we are saying is that as part of the efforts to return normalcy to our school system is even this why we want to do this exercise. Some of them are out of school for COVID-19 reasons and all this. And don't forget, a sizable number is even out of schools for economic reasons, reasons of poverty, reasons of not being able to sustain the students in schools. So this home feeding program is intended to correct some of this and bring these children that have left schools. COVID-19, thank God the ground is settling down on that, and bring them back. Is a way of reconciling both the societal ills and the effects on the students and restoring them back to the school system.
Okay, if I understand from what the plan of the National Orientation Agency is to collect data, but the data is not just primarily just for focusing on the home school feeding program alone, but try to see other indices that might be a reason for students, enrolling or not enrolling in school. So you are trying to make sure that you get data collections, even looking at other indices, right?
Yes. See, let's get it clearly. When you go into research or into enumeration, into a survey, you have your primary objective, and along the line, there will be some emerging issues that can help you in other areas. So, going on that, you are correct. The intention is to enumerate students, to get appropriate data, to at least put the program in proper perspective to achieve its expected goal and expectation. That is stepping up the enrollment of children in our schools. Definitely, the data will help us in other areas. So this is a thing that will help us not only stay in the educational area, but some other areas where we have to focus searchlights and attention on will emerge from this exercise.
Okay, and also you spoke about talking to the vendors also, not just the students and their parents, but you also want to interact with the vendors. Either you're having issues with maybe transportation or security or any of those logistical issues. Also, I think the agency also is looking at doing.
We are looking at interacting with the vendors and the school management. The vendors are independent of the school management system. We want to interact with the vendors. What are the difficulties they have? What are the challenges they have? Some of them may have problems in sourcing. The emphasis is on sourcing in the locality.
Yes.
Some of them may have problems in getting the desired food components in the locality. We want to see how these problems could be resolved. And some of them are not even living up to expectation. So the school management too may be having their own grievances in this area. This provides them an avenue to at least explain themselves. The pupils too may have one problem or the other with the kind of food being served. It may be monotonous, it may not be hygienic, and the likes. Even the parents too will have their own issues coming from the reports and observations being given to them by their pupils. So it's a collation, a general collation of the strengths, the weaknesses so far, and where we can come into.
So lastly, now that NOA has been brought in to help in gathering data, is there adequate manpower to do that? And what about also training? Because data collection and statistics could be technical at times. So
definitely, I have been trained, and of course, I've stepped down with training to our COMOS. And aside from that, the COMOS will be trained directly by the technical team of the Ministry of Humanitarian Services. It's not only the COMOS that are involved, because the first aspect of your question is, do we have adequate manpower? We are deploying all our COMOS in the 20 local government areas, including their officers. There are officers assisting these COMOS in the local government areas, including our White Brigade volunteers. We have White Brigade volunteers in all local government areas. And where we don't have sufficient, where we still need more, we deploy officers at the state headquarters. And again, NYC2 is involved in this exercise. So where NYC needs our attention, we go there. Where we need more hands from them, we can call them. All hands are on deck to make sure with the purpose of going out is actually achieved.
So thanks for honoring our invitation, Mr. SOLA BABALOLA, Director, National Orientation Agency, Ogun State. Many thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And viewers, I appreciate your listening culture. God bless you.
Okay, we're not done yet. Yes, just stay with us. We'll also be back with another interesting conversation.
Bribery and corruption is illegal. It could hinder the economic growth of a nation. If caught, culprits will end up in jail. Say no to bribery and corruption.